The problem is draw the projections of a pentagonal pyramid 50 mm side and axis 80 mm long if it is resting on one of its base edges with the axis making an angle of 30 degree with the HP and top view of the axis making an angle of 45 degree with the XY line. So first of all, consider the three-dimensional representation of the question. This one is the case of a pentagonal pyramid, and this pentagonal pyramid is resting on one of its base edges, and that base edge and the axis of the pyramid makes 30 degree with the horizontal plane, and again it makes 45 degree in the top view. So for that, if it is resting on one of its base edges, we have to construct the pentagonal pyramid in this manner. This is the area or the base edge. It should be perpendicular to the vertical plane. Now for simplicity, consider the naming. Let this bottom corner is A, then B, C, D, E, and the vertex is O. Then center of the base, which is P, PO will be the axis. Now in order to get the front view of initial position, we are observing the object from the front side. Then project all the bottom corners to the vertical plane and vertex to the vertical plane, and axis into the vertical plane, and join all these corners. Then we will get one triangle like this. This triangle represents the top view of the pentagonal pyramid. Then for getting top view, you have to observe the object from the top side, then project all the bottom corners to the horizontal plane, project the vertex to the horizontal plane, then join all these corners. We will get one pentagon like this, and this one will be the top view of the initial position of pentagonal pyramid. Then in second stage, the pentagonal pyramid is tilted with respect to one of its base edges CD. This is the base edge CD, in such a way that the axis making an angle 30 degree with the horizontal plane. So in that case, we have to construct the axis, and the axis should make 45 degree. This is the axis, and the axis should make 45 degree with the horizontal plane. Again, for getting front view, we have to observe the object from front side, project all the base corners and vertex into the vertical plane, join all these corners. Now this triangle represents the front view of the pentagonal pyramid corresponding to 30 degree inclination of the axis. And again, for getting the top view, we have to observe the pentagonal pyramid from top side, and again project all the corners to the horizontal plane, vertex to the horizontal plane. Then the outer edges, when it is looking from top side, will be visible, can be represented by thick lines, and the back side edges which are not visible from the top sides are represented by dotted lines. Now this one represents the top view corresponding to 30 degree inclination of the axis when it is tilted with respect to one of its base edges. And the final condition is axis makes 45 degree with the vertical plane. Now this is the condition. Here this axis PO makes 45 degree with the vertical plane. Now corresponding to this position, draw the projections into the vertical plane, project all the corners and vertex, and the visible edges can be marked by thick lines, and the edges which are at the back side and not visible can be represented by dotted line. Now this one represents the final front view corresponding to 45 degree inclination of the axis with the vertical plane. For getting the top view, observe the object from top side, project all the base corners to the horizontal plane, vertex to the horizontal plane. Again, the outer edges which are visible looking from top side can be marked by thick lines, and the edges which are not visible observing from top side can be represented by dotted lines. Now this one represents the final top view corresponding to 45 degree inclination of the axis with the vertical plane. Now this three-dimensional representation can be marked in 2D plane, and which will be the answer to this question. So for that, we have to draw the top view of the pentagonal pyramid having edge 50 length. Construct the pentagon and mark the bottom corners of A, B, C, D, E and the vertex as O. Then for getting the top view, project all the corners to the XY line perpendicular to the XY line. Then mark the bottom corners A dash, E dash, P dash, D dash, and it is given that the height of the prism is 80 mm. Then mark a point 80 mm above the XY line. Then corresponding to this axis and vertex, mark the point O dash. Then join all the base corners and the vertex. Now this one represents the front view of the pentagonal pyramid corresponding to initial position. Then it is given that the axis make an angle 30 degree with the horizontal plane. Now this is the angle 30 degree. This P dash O dash axis makes 30 degree. Then measure the distance P dash, E dash, P dash, A dash and P dash, D dash from the first front view, and also mark the point O dash. Then join all these coordinates. Now this one represents the front view corresponding to 30 degree inclination of the axis. Then for getting the top view of this one, draw the projections from all the points, all the coordinates and vertex in the downward direction perpendicular to XY line. These are represented by dotted lines. And again for completing the top view, again extend the projections of the first top view in rightward direction. Now we will get the corresponding points here. So point A is obtained by joining A and A dash. B1 is obtained by joining B and B dash, etc. like that. You will get all these points B1, E1, etc. Then O1 is obtained by joining O and O dash. Then when we are observing from top side, the outer edges will be visible and can be represented by thick lines, and also the bottom corners are not visible, it can be represented by dotted lines. So this one represents the top view corresponding to 30 degree inclination of the axis. Now in question it is given that the axis is again tilted to 45 degree with the vertical plane. Now we are going to draw one 45 degree line with the 45 degree line with the XY line. Then mark the points, mark all these points. P1, O1 can be represented by in this manner: P1, O1, B1, A1, E1. So all these dimensions are taken from the 30 degree inclination top view. So that means we have to take dimensions O1, B1, O1, E1, O1, P1, etc. Then transfer all the dimensions P1, O1, B1, O1, E1, O1, A1, O1 here corresponding to 45 degree inclination. Now again for getting the top view, project all these base coordinates and vertex in the upward direction perpendicular to XY line. These are represented by dotted lines. These are the projections extended for getting front view. Now again from the 30 degree inclination front view, draw the projections in the rightward direction. Now the joining corresponding points will give the front view corresponding to 45 degree inclination. So here points A1 dash is obtained by joining A1 and A dash. Then E1 dash is obtained by joining E1 and E dash, etc. like that. Then join all these base coordinates. So these base coordinates are visible when we are looking from the front side. That is why it is represented in thick lines. Then these edges are not visible when looking from front side. So it can be represented by dotted lines. Now this figure represents the final front view corresponding to 45 degree inclination of the axis.